everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. Today I'm going to be featuring Simon Says Stamp's Altenew STAMPtember exclusive, which is Rose Reverie. Now the techniques that I'm going to be sharing today you can translate to any stamp set that you have, so just bear that in mind as you're watching this video. You can change out the images that I've used, which is a STAMPtember collaboration exclusive. So this stamp set is limited edition and only available while supplies last. If you do want to grab it, I do have links to the stamp set and also all the other supplies that I'm using today. I always like making my stamped and colored images stand out a little bit and add something extra special to them, which is one of the techniques I'm going to be sharing today. So if you want to see the Rose Reverie set, this is the beautiful floral and the greetings that come with it. I'm going to use that large floral image to create a beautiful focal point on my card. I'm stamping this with Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink onto some Hammer Mill white cardstock. I'm going to use Copic markers to color this in. And I'm only going to show you pieces of the coloring because I'm repeating the process for coloring the leaves and the flowers throughout the entire image. So for the leaves, I used 3 different shades of green, which I have linked below for you to check out, or over on my blog, there are picture links. And I'm going to shade them with the darkest color towards the center and the lightest color fading out to the edges. For the petals of the flowers, I did the exact same thing. I colored these with some nice YR markers to get a really nice peachy tone, and I'm going to fade out that color as you go out further towards the edge of the petals. Once I do all of my shading for each petal, I always go back in with the last color just to add a couple of lines to the centers of the flowers, which gives them a little bit of detail. And then for the centers of the flowers, I added just a nice dark red color. My inspiration for this card and all the colors that I used was Art Deco. I wanted to really give a dramatic effect to this card by utilizing some beautiful color tones, some gold, and definitely black. All right, so here's where we're going to start enhancing our coloring. On the leaves, I'm going to apply a little bit of glossy accents just in a highlight line across each of the leaves. This is going to give me a place that I can then sprinkle some glitter on top of. And for this, I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Clear Rock Candy, but you can use any glitter you'd like. I love the Clear Rock Candy though because it is clear and it just gives a gorgeous sparkle. Then for the centers of the flowers, I'm going to add some Nouveau drops. Now this particular color of Nouveau drops I don't believe is available any longer, so I'm going to link to something that is very similar. But any type of liquid enamel would work to add a beautiful center to your flowers. So now we have our floral piece ready and we're going to work on creating our background. This is so easy. You're going to take a glue stick, I'm using Simon's glue stick, and I'm just going to scribble this across my 4x6 card panel. You're going to see here as I catch this in the light how I've just squiggled this across the paper. Then I'm going to take some gold foil from Deco foil and apply this on top of that glue. Then I'll just burnish it with my sleeve to press that into the adhesive. And this is transferring that foil onto my paper. Now check it out. We have this really cool sketchy foiled background. This is a perfect technique for those of you that don't have a laminator because you can add foiled accents to your projects with just a bit of adhesive. I also splattered some of this beautiful shimmer mist from Tim Holtz. This is one of his new colors for the fall and Halloween collection that he had with Distress. And I just splattered this across my paper. Once it dried, I'm going to adhere my floral into the center of this paper, and I'm just using some foam tape on the back side to give this some separation from the background. What looks really cool is having this sketchy foil just peeking out from behind, and that just creates an amazing dramatic background. Very simple and easy to do, which is really fun. All right, so we're ready to put this onto a card base. I'm going to create a background panel here from some Tim Holtz Halloween backdrops, and this is going to get glued down onto my 5x7 card base that I'm making from black cardstock. Before I do that though, I am going to mount my floral panel onto a piece of matte gold cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. Because of the Art Deco look I'm going for, I want to make sure I incorporate as much gold as possible without being obnoxious. So this gold trim is just going to add a little touch of gold around the edges and really brings out the gold color in this pattern paper. On the back side of my floral panel, I'm just going to adhere a piece of white foam sheet from Simon Says Stamp. This is going to give me some dimension off of that pattern paper, but it's also going to give a lot of stability. I find using white foam sheets are super helpful for larger background panels instead of having to use so many small strips of foam tape. So I'll adhere this to the center of my background panel. For a greeting, I'm going to pull out one of the sentiments that's included in the Rose Reverie stamp set. I'm going to prep the surface of some black cardstock with a powder tool, and then I'll stamp my greeting with embossing ink. I'm using Simon embossing ink and some gold embossing powder. I'm going to heat set my sentiment by using my heat tool first on the back side of the paper, and then I'll bring it to the front and melt the powder to get that beautiful gold finish. To adhere the sentiment, I'm just going to use a couple of pieces of black foam squares and attach that along the bottom of my card. Just going to get the placement just right before I commit fully to where it's located. The dramatic gold and black combination is just gorgeous and creates such a beautiful backdrop for this floral. The enhancements that we added to our coloring by creating those centers with some enamel drops and also the glitter on the leaves, they're small touches but make a huge impact on the finished card. I hope you were inspired and will use some of these ideas that I've shared today on your next project. If you're interested in the stamp set that I used, be sure to check out all the links below in the video description as well as on my blog, and there are also still pictures on my blog too if you're watching this on YouTube. Thanks again for tuning in. I will be back again very soon to share more with you, but until then, I hope you have a wonderful day.